We have a new technique that we're offering here that we would like you to understand that you must apply in every moment of every waking day, and that is, we call it the forking off process. In other words, here I stand wherever I am, forking off to close the crack. How's that? Here I stand wherever I am on any subject in the world, and I'm having a moment where I'm offering thoughts and having emotional responses to the thoughts that I'm offering. As you stand here having your moment and you care about how you feel, then your tendency is going to be to reach for the best feeling thought that you can find. And so as you reach for a little better feeling thought, you can't go all the way to feeling great, but as you reach for a better feeling thought and you consistently do that, before you know it, you're at that manifestation point and it pleases you as it manifests. But if you are complaining and worrying and fussing and fuming and angry and frustrated and overwhelmed and worried and more, then when you get to the manifestation, it will not please you, because nothing bucks your current. Everything reflects the vibrational frequency of your being. When you're standing in the midst of a manifestation that does not please you, and you don't take the time to try to make the best of it from where you are, all you do is cue yourself up for a later manifestation that's not going to please you either. Where if you are cognizant of where you stand and how you feel, and you make even the slightest effort to find the wouldn't it be nice if, or step back into a broader view and acknowledge that my life always works well, or, well, what's our next plan? What will we do? Recognize that in every moment, wherever you're standing, you've got options. And the options are very few. The options, in fact, are only two. I can approach this in a way that feels a little better, or I can approach this in a way that feels a little worse. And we want you to understand that, believe it or not, that simple forking in your now is everything that science of deliberate creation is about. You can't create far off into your future, and you can't create very far from where you're already vibrating. You can't quantum leap on the emotional scale. You can't be feeling despair and leap all the way into bliss, no matter how many people tell you that you should follow your bliss. You cannot move quickly up the emotional scale on subjects that you've been practicing any more than you can set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. The frequencies have to match up, you see. So what we're going to talk about here today is mostly about helping you to make peace with where you are. In other words, nothing very important is ever going on anywhere if you will just stand and regroup and then think, which corner do I really want to list or fork in the direction of? If the better feeling option feels better, then you've released the resistance. So what has happened is this life experience has shown to you evidence of resistance that you've been lugging around that you were unaware you had until it manifested. Now, we want you to get more and more aware of the way you feel so that you are aware of things resistance-wise before they manifest. Because once you've got the diagnosis, or once you've got the bankruptcy, or once you're living what you don't want to live, now you've missed quite a few cues, you see. And so it is better if you catch it before it manifests, but no big deal. At any point that you realize, whether it's because you feel the emotion that's telling you that you're not moving in the direction you want, or whether it's because something is manifested and you really know that you're right where you don't want to be. In either case, your work is the same. Your work must be to stand where you are because you've got no choice. You can't stand anywhere that you're not. You're standing in this vibrational place, in vibrational proximity to all of the things that your source has become because of you. And you have an option of trying to make it feel a little better or trying to make it feel a little worse. And as you consistently try to make it feel a little better, what happens in a very short period of time is that you clean up your vibration relative to so many things, because life is pointing your resistance out to you every day in oh so many ways. And as you make the effort to improve the way you feel just a little bit, you change your vibrational attitude. You change your vibrational emitting. And law of attraction is responding to the vibration that you're emitting. You are vibrational beings. The universe isn't responding to your words. The universe is responding to your vibration. The universe is literally responding to the vibration that is the reason for the way you feel. So, your vibration is the reason for the way you feel. I want to talk about this just for a moment, because once you get this, you're home free forevermore relative to anything and everything you want. Your emotions are your indicator of your vibration. But what do we mean by that? Your emotions are your indicator of the vibrational relativity between who you have really become and who you are letting yourself be in this moment. Isn't that wonderful to know? In other words, your emotions are telling you vibrationally where you are in relationship to everything that you want. So never again will you ever feel impatience about unknown factors, because never again will there be any unknown factors. If you are worried about something, it can't get better. If you're frustrated about something, it might be improving slightly, but so slowly that you're probably pulling your hair out. In other words, you've got to close that vibrational gap, and you're the only one who can do it. Friends, if you believe that what is controls the way you feel, then you're done. If what is controls the way you feel, then you have no possibility ever of changing your vibration, which means you look at what is, you vibrate about what is, the universe gives you more of what is. And then you look at the more that you're getting, and then you offer a vibration about it, and then the universe gives you more of it. If you want something to change in your experience, you have to change the way you feel. You have to change the way you're looking at it if what it is to change. So, we like to talk about the emotional journey. We want you to become vibrationally aware. We want you to care more about how you feel than about what is. We want you to start controlling how you feel about what is. Because when you start controlling how you feel about what is starts becoming more of what you want. You can tell by the way you feel whether you're marching towards something that you're going to like when you get there, or whether you're marching towards something that you're not going to like when you get there. So doesn't that make you feel powerful to know that as you're standing right now, you have options about which way you fork? So here's how it works. You've been banging around, you're out here, you haven't really known about this stuff. Things happen, things you want, things you don't want. You've offered all kinds of vibrations, and your vibrational future is full of all kinds of things that you want and that you don't want. Because every thought that you've been thinking has caused you to launch rockets of desires. So let's say that you went to the mailbox and you got a big bill, and your awareness of your current checking account balance tells you that you cannot pay this bill. You can't even come close to paying this bill. And you think, oh my God, what have I done? And so as you're standing there in this discomfort over where you stand, what we want you to be aware of is that what you do next has everything to do with whether you will open the flow of money and make it better, or whether you will continue to shut down the flow of money. As you make a decision that you care how you feel, and that you care more about how you feel about not having enough money than you do about not having enough money. In other words, my attitude about this is what really matters, not my current state of abundance, because my current state of abundance or health or relationship will change as my vibration changes. So my emotional response to this is everything. So you sit down and you open the bills and you face the reality that you're living, and you feel overwhelmed with your current situation. So there you are. There you are. Your desire for abundance is over here, and your current vibration relative to money is over here. So now the forking process begins. So you say to yourself, I am in such trouble, I don't know what I'm going to do, as you move in the opposite direction of what you're wanting. And then you say, things just cost so much, as you continue to move in the wrong direction. Or something like that. We're just giving you hypotheticals of what you might say. Then you say, it's just not fair. And then you say, they're not paying me nearly what I'm worth. And about then, you remember Abraham demonstrating to you you're forking off in the wrong direction. And even though in the last minute you forked several times in the direction of what you do not want, you're aware that you're doing it, and it just sort of is happening to you because law of attraction can't give you thoughts that are very far from the thoughts you're thinking and how you feel. But now you decide to sort of take control of your forking process. So you stop somewhere and you make an effort to move in the other direction. And you say something like, well, maybe things will get better. And then you think, yeah, right. And then you think, well, things have gotten tight from time to time, and I usually figure a way out of it. And then you think, yeah, but look at where I am now, as you fork back. And then you say, because you're still making an effort, finances are about dollars out and dollars in. And while I can't do anything necessarily this red hot minute about making more money come in, I can be a little bit more deliberate about what goes out. And that feels a little better. And then you think, but I've been here so often, as you fork back. But now you get the sense of what we're talking about. Now you're doing some deliberate forking. In other words, now even though you've made several forks in the direction that you don't want to go and some in the direction that you do want to go, now you're more nimble. Now you're aware. Now you're making an effort. Now law of attraction isn't just carrying you away with your negative thoughts because you've deliberately activated some more positive thoughts. So now more options are opening up for you. It's like the roadway begins to clear a little bit. And then you say something like, I'm going to look through this pile and I'm going to decide what's most urgent and I'm going to pay them as best I can and I'm going to make some phone calls. And with that decision, you feel a little better. And then you say, I'll do it later, and you walk away from it. And you have, through this small effort, left yourself in a better vibrational position than when you were at the mailbox earlier. You've changed your vibration. And the thing that we want you to know, that we don't think you know, that we want so much for you to know, because when you know this, your life will be transformed, you know? We want you to understand that that small effort has changed your vibrational point of attraction. And now you have access to different forking points. Now you have access to different rendezvous. Now, with just that little bit of effort, different vibrational mind patterns are going to start to break loose for you. And your timing with things is going to be better. And your awareness of where you are financially is going to be more keen. And all kinds of things are going to improve soon. But the most important thing is you have improved the way you feel now. You're no longer in cold sweats. Your mouth is no longer dry. In fact, there's a decisiveness that started to come over you, and you're on your way. You're well along your way. That first effort is always the hardest one, you see. When you look at powerful people, charismatic people, people that you call masters of whatever it is they are masters of, it is because they want something that they believe they can do. When you are a vibrational match to your own desire and you are sending one signal, you are literally invincible. Nothing can keep it from happening. And you hear of those people who are so stubborn, you might call them, or determined. In other words, they hold themselves in vibrational alignment with what they want. They don't allow themselves to split their own energy. Everything that you are living has only to do with whether your energy is aligned or whether your energy is split. Because when your energy is split, you water down your power. When you say, I want this, but you're offering two signals that are in contradiction to each other, and the universe cannot respond to your clear signal because you're not offering a clear signal. But when you fork your way up the emotional scale and you come into vibrational alignment with what you want, so you are sending one signal, then it must be. It is law. It has to be. Heaven and earth earth part, amazing things happen. People who don't understand this, who don't understand about forking, who don't understand about closing the gap, who don't understand about vibration, stand back in amazement and complain at your good fortune when they don't have the same good fortune. Everyone is entitled to this same good fortune, but you've got to work your own magic. You've got to work yourself up that emotional scale. You cannot continue to fork off in the direction of what you don't want and then be surprised when what you don't want manifests. Good.